I'm Rick Casey, and this is Texas Week.
Texas Week launched on January 21st, 2011, and since then has covered topics in areas such as the school budget battle and how it affects our children's education.
You could get down to a 0, and your school would still be credited as if you had passed that test.
We've explored the fight to control obesity, discussed the implications of eliminating the Texas Women's Health Program,
Birth control itself, contraception, and the preventive services were being targeted.
and heard from experts on how our water supply is in danger, with no plan in sight to conserve it for future generations.
Texas needs to step up and develop more water resources.
We've heard from experts on illegal immigration, the DREAM Act, and whether or not a pathway can exist for citizenship.
You can't just come across and say, hello, I'm applying for the DREAM Act, can I go? And I'll serve in the military.
We were also instrumental in closing down a nonprofit museum that bragged it was giving money to the victims of slain DPS troopers.
They raised $12 million. They gave about $65,000 to DPS troopers and their families. So that's less than a penny for every dollar raised.
And the Texas Tribune's Evan Smith, reporting each week from the state capitol.
They did what they thought was right. They viewed it as a legal issue, but they didn't anticipate the buzzsaw that they were going to run into.
Of course, we've been on top of every important political race and featured several debates prior to every election. Texas Week is important to our community because we take the time to explore the issues.
That's one of the things that I really appreciate about Texas Week, because there's so many things that I think I'm aware of, but I realize there's so much more in-depth content that I don't get from even the newspaper or other television stations. So I greatly appreciate that.
Our interviews are in-depth and much more than the 6-second soundbite.
We need this. There can be all the bloggers in the world and all of these news shows, but if you don't have trained journalists that are looking for both sides of the story every single week on a consistent basis, now more than ever, it's extremely important.
With your support of Texas Week, KLRN will continue to provide in-depth analysis,
talking about some of the issues that are important to all Texans, regardless of party.
spirited discussions,
We're providing solutions and alternatives, Phil. We're not taking money away. We're providing solutions and alternative services.
Cutting $73 million.
You want us, I understand you want us.
and thoughtful conversations about important issues facing South Central Texas. And as Thomas Jefferson said, an informed citizenry is at the heart of a dynamic democracy. Texas Week, helping keep South Texas's democracy just a little more dynamic.